1 plus 1.4x2 plus 3.3x3 plus 0.6x4 plus 1.0x5. 1.0x5. So that is how the formula looks like. That is how the formula looks like. And in most cases in exam, the examiner will give you the formula. In most cases, the examiner will give you the formula. However, in some cases, the examiner can change this. They can have this one here or this one replaced. They can replace any figure. What is important is that you need to know that what are we supposed to multiply with 0.6, whether it is x5 or x4. And the examiner will give you directive on this. They will explain to you what you need to have. So that is how the formula looks like, the model. You can either cram this, you can master it, or you can wait for exams. It will come in exam with that formula, right? So I want us now to look at an illustration here. So first, you need to know what x1 means. So you say where x1 is equal to the working capital we have x2, meaning retained earnings. We have x3. X3 means not x, but yes, x3 means EBIT. X3 is EBIT. X3 is EBIT. Then we have x4, market value. X4 means market value of ordinary shares. That is what X4 stands for. Then we have X5, which is the last one. X5 is sales. X5 is sales. So the first one is working capital all over total asset. The second one is retained earnings all over total assets. Then we have EBIT all over total assets. Then we have the market value of ordinary shares, all over book value of debt. So this one is over book value of debt. Book value of debt. And then we have sales all over total asset. Sales over total assets. Now that is how they look like. So you need to master this. The only thing that is different there is the one that is over book value of debt, the ordinary shares. The rest are over total assets. There is a formula that you can use to cram this or to master it. You say this one means Waremas. So we have WO Waremas. Waremas that stands for working capital WO, R for retained earnings, E for EBIT, MA is market value, market. Then we have S, Warren mass. That is the formula that you can use to remember this. So in exam, just have this. In case the examiner has not given you, just write Warren mass, Warren mass, Warren mass. There are 5, right? So this one is X1, X2, X3, X4, X5. There are only 5. So this one is working capital, retained earnings, EBIT, market value of ordinary shares, then sales. Now the rest are over total assets except market value of ordinary shares, which is over the book value of debt. The book value of debt. The rest are over the total assets. Now, once you have calculated this, you'll be able to get the value of Z, which we call the Z score. Now, the Z score can be interpreted. How would you now interpret the meaning of the answer that you're going to get? I hope that you've written this. So how you are going to interpret it? Interpretation of the Z score. Z score has a scale. It has a scale. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to look at or predict the chances that this company might fail. The company failure, right? Or company failure, or the firm's failure. How do you know that this company is going to fail or this company is going to be successful? So we are using this range. The value of Z score needs to be interpreted, and the interpretation will be able to help you understand it. Now, we have here up to here. So what we're going to have is that we are going to have 1.8 here. That is, let's say that the value of Z score that you're going to calculate is equal to 1.8. So if it is 1.8 or below, what does that mean? If it is between 1.8 to 2.7, then we are saying that this company is doing averagely. This company is doing averagely. So there is 50% success, and also 50% failure. The company whose Z score is between 1.8 to 2.7, the answer that you're going to get, it means that it is 50-50. It can survive. It can fail or not fail. The one that is beyond 2.7, anything that is beyond here now, we call it successful or success. The one that is below here, that is bankrupt or failure. Bankrupt or failure. So if you calculate Z score and you find it is less than 1.8, or it is even negative, then that is a company that is performing poorly. And you can see the information that we're using, working capital, we are using retained earnings against the asset, we are using EBIT against the asset, we are using the market value of ordinary shares, the market value of ordinary shares against book value debt. Those figures you can get in your financial statement. You can always get them in your financial statement, and you can be able to do that and ask yourself whether that company that you're working for has a future or it is going to have a problem. Sasa James, the company that you're working with or you're working for, you can know whether they're going to have challenges or not. Uanze kujipanga mapema. So if you do it, let's say, for example, you do it for 2021 financials, 2022 financials, 2023 financials, and it is always performing below, start looking for another job. Hiyo kampuni inaenda chini. But if you realize that you are trying to test that the way we are going to do today, and you realize that the company is doing better, it is either here or here, that is a company that is stable and has got future. I want us now to look at an example. We are just starting, Mercy. We are looking at models of predicting a company failure. And the first model is called Altman's Z-score. The second one, we have not even started. The first one is this, and I've just given the formula, which I said you can master it by the word Waremas. You can cram it like that. Or examiner will give you the question with the formula in the question. So we want to do an illustration on how to do it. So these are just ways of predicting that the company is doing well or the company is facing some financial challenges. So we are going to do one paper here as an illustration. This is December 2022. You can write down December 2022, question number 4. December 2022, question number 4. So, question number 4B, the Altman formula for prediction of bankruptcy is given as follows. 1.2x, z is equal to 1.2x plus 1.4x2. So that is 1.2x1 plus 1.4x2 plus 3.3x3 plus 1 times x4 plus 0.6x5, where x1 is given, x2 is given, x3. Always use what the examiner has given you. Even though in my question I refer to x4 as market value, the examiner has given you x4 as sales value, right? Total sales all over asset. Use what the examiner has given you. They have only exchanged it. If you are keen, you are going to realize that my x4, it was market value all over book value, right? Market value all over book value. You multiply it with 0.6. That is what I've given you, the notes that you're having. It was x4 times 0.6. That means that you multiply the proportion of market value of equity to book value with 0.6. Even though they now call it x5, it is still being multiplied with 0.6. Are you noticing that? In this question, they have changed it, but the amount or the coefficient has remained the same. The coefficient has remained the same. You multiply with 0.6. Now, I want us now to try this. So you are provided this information, which the examiner has done well to give you illustration. You are provided with following information in respect of 3 listed companies. So we have working capital already you are given. It is Waremas. So we have 3 companies. 3 companies. The first one is company A, B, and C. So these are independent companies that you're supposed to calculate and tell us which one is better. You are going to calculate Z-score for each company separately. So for A separately, B separately, C separately. The working capital is given, which is X1. It will help you there. You now need to know where the total assets are. Do you have total assets given here? Ndio hii total asset, working capital. Retained earnings ndio hii, total asset ndio hiyo. Earnings before interest and tax, EBIT ndio hii na umepewa. We also have sales ndio hii. You've been given. And then the market value. So your role is just to come and punch in. Was it easy? Now imagine somebody was scared. This one is very simple. Somebody was scared. So let's have our Altman's model. So let's start with company A. And then we interpret. We're going to interpret according to this. Sawa. So our illustration is from December 2022, question number 4B. All right. So we start with A Limited. A Limited. So A Limited, we are saying that Z-score, our Z-score is equal to 1.2x1 plus 1.4x2 plus 3.3x3 plus 1 times x4 plus 0.6x5. That is what we have been given. That is what the examiner has given us. So let's start here. The first one, X1. X1 we are told is working capital all over total assets. So we have 1.2 times working capital is what? What is the value of working capital? Waremas. So working capital is this one, 40 all over 120. Still, 40,000 all over 120,000. So we have this one times 40 all over 120. What is 40 times 120? You can calculate that instead of writing the full figure. We just calculate it. So 40, take your calculator, 40 divided by 120. What are you getting? 0.3333 plus X2. X2 we are told that is Waremas is retained earnings. This 200, not 120. So 200, okay. 200. Thank you. 120 niliona, that was liability. So it is 200. Thank you. So 40 divided by 200 unapata ngapi? 40 divided by 200, 0.2. So 0.2, right? Plus, we have X2. X2 is retained earnings over total assets. So come to retained earnings over total assets. Is it 0.02 or is 4 or 40? What am I seeing? So hold on. We have 4. So it is 4. It is 4, not 40. So this one is 0.2. Fine. So we come to the next one. That is X2. X2 is retained earnings. We are still using our formula Waremas. So we are on retained earnings. That is X2. X2. This is the normal formula, unless examiner changes it the way they have done it in this case, where now we have the market value being number 5 and sales being number 4. Otherwise, if you're not given the formula by examiner, use this one. In case examiner didn't tell you the meaning of those items, use Waremas. But in this case, the examiner has told you that they have exchanged this one with this. So you use whatever they have given you. So our number 2 is 1.4 times, we have retained earnings. Retained earnings is how much? All over total assets. Retained earnings is 60,000 all over 200. I hope I got it well now. 60,000 all over 200. Clear? So we have 60 divided by 200, 0.3. So we have 1.4 times 0.3. Then you add to 33 or 3.3 times. We have now EBIT. EBIT you are giving us. What is the value of EBIT? 10 all over 200. 10 all over 200. So that is 0.05. Is it? Plus, now this one I told you they have changed it. So we start with the sales. Clear? Sales all over total asset. Total asset we know. Total asset is 200. But sales ni ngapi? Total asset is 200, but sales 200. So it is 200 over 200. All right? 200 over 200. Is it correct? Ama mimi ndio nimeona vibaya. So we have there 200 over 200. And that will give you 200 over 200 is 1. So 1 times 1. So that is 1 plus the last one is the book value of debt. And the book and market value of ordinary shares. We are given the market value of equity, which is the market value of ordinary shares. So it is 20 divided by debt. Are we given the book value of debt? The book value of debt is now the liability. So we have liability here, which is a debt. So it is 200 divided by 120. 20 divided by 120. 0.167. So you have 0.6 times 0.167. Can somebody get me the value, Z-score value of A limited? So we have here, we can even arrange them. We have here A limited. A limited. Then we now come to B limited. So with B limited, what do we have? 1.2 times 1.2 times 20 divided by 100. Now this one, 20 divided by 100, that is the same, 0.20. So I have 0.02, not 20, plus 1.4 times, here we have 0. We have x3. X3, are we having 0? Now x2, oh, 220. 20 divided by 100, so that is 0.2. So here we have 0.2 plus 3.3 times, do we have anything there? X3, 0. So that is 0. So just have it as 0. So this one is times 0 plus, this one was sales over total assets. We are told it is sales. That is X4. X4 is total sales. Sales, this one, below total assets. So you come to sales. In limit, it is 120 divided by 100. Total asset. 120, which is sales, divided by 100. So 100 divided by 100 is gap. 1.1 is here. So we have 1 times 1.2, not 1.1, 1.2. All over 0.6 times. The last one, we need to know the value of debt and the value of ordinary shares. So we have debt, which is 80, ordinary shares, market value is 5,000. So 5 over 80. So we have 5 divided by 80, 0.6. So we have 0.0625. What do you get? Let's come to C limited. So we have 1.2 times, what do we have as the working capital or our asset? Working capital or our asset. Working capital 6,000. So we have 6,000. Total asset is 800. Right? 6 divided by 800. So just calculate 6 divided by 800. You're getting 0.075. So we have 0.075 plus 1.4 times Retained earnings in that line all over total assets. Retained earnings all over total assets. Retained earnings is 620, is 20. 20 divided by 800. 20 divided by 800. 20 divided by 800. 0.025 plus, we have 33, 3.3 times. What do we have there now? We have EBIT. Negative 30 divided by 800. Negative 30 divided by 800. So we have negative 30 divided by 800. 0 point, so it is negative 0 point. Plus, in the bracket, we have sales. Sales divided by assets. $900 divided by 800. Hiyo ni ngapi? 900 divided by 800. 1 point. So it is 1 times 1.125 plus 0.6 times the market value of ordinary shares divided by the value of debt. The last one. Market value of ordinary shares. Market value of ordinary shares. That is 48 divided by value of debt 740. 48 divided by 740. So we have 48 divided by 740. We're getting 0.0647. 0.0647. Not 47, but 49. 0.649. So get me the figures there. What is the conclusion after having those answers? So we have calculated Z score for each company that has given you 6 marks. You are now told to comment on your results in A above, in B Roman 1, this one here. Can somebody tell me your comments? I want to unmute. Mtu aseme. What is your observation or comment? All the companies are facing a risk of bankruptcy. Thank you. Now you can conclude and say that each of the 3 companies or all the 3 companies appear to be at risk of bankruptcy. Because we say that the bankruptcy level runs like that. So this one is 1.8, and then we have 2.7. This one is a safe region where we are saying there is 50% bankruptcy and 50% success. Anything that is here has got a risk of bankruptcy. But anything that is here is successful. It appears to be successful. So that is how you could have advised the 2 companies. In case somebody wanted to buy one of them, and this one was maybe 2.7 something, you can tell them to pick the best one and leave the other one out. Thanks so much. I want to try and see if there is another one that we can do. Another question of the same nature. Kuna kitu ingine sijaelewa. Kuna kitu ingine sijaelewa. Niwaulize. So our next illustration is November 2020. November 2020, question number 1B, where we have the Z-score as given below. So we are told to calculate the Z-score formula. Calculate the Z-score. Calculate the Z-score. So Z-score, we write it first. We are saying that Z-score for alpha is equal to 1.2 x1 plus 1.4 x2 plus 3.3 x3 plus 0.6 x4 plus 0.9999 x5. That is what they say, eh? Now, here, we are now saying that we need to calculate the first one, which is 1.2 times working capital, net working capital, working capital. How do you get working capital? Can somebody tell me how to get working capital? What is working capital? Correct. It is current asset minus current liability. So that is what you're going to do. So let's come here and get it. Our current asset is, we have non-current asset, we have current asset. So just pick the current asset peke yake, 100. Right?